Hi, I'm Llama Gucci from Ashijima's farm and you're watching Disney Channel.
Hi llamas! This is a new kuroken video. Let me know if you like it because it's a bit different from the previous few videos that I've been making. And I'm also currently working on a challenge video and I have more things planned out. Possibly a different fandom of texting video. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, but possibly. And I'm excited for that as well. I also went to the 80s concert and I still haven't recovered from it. Let me know if you're an 18 as well because I just had the best time ever. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. Love you. Bye.
Especially since I know you like him. The silence stretched. Kenma stared at him startled, words caught in his throat, and Fujimura smiled, knowingly, carefully, like it was a gotcha moment. Kenma blinked. His grip on the water bottle in his hand tightened slightly. What do you mean? Fujimura tilted his head, smile curling like smoke. You know what I mean. Kenma looked down, avoiding eye contact. His heart thudded in his ears louder than it should have. You're wrong. Fujimura stepped closer, his voice gentler, but there was something mocking underneath. Am I? You can't even look at me right now. Kenma's jaw clenched. He forced his gaze up. Fujimura arched an eyebrow, clearly amused. I take it that you want to listen now? Kenma flinched at that. His silence stretched for a moment. Then he inhaled. No. Fujimura's smirk faltered. I don't trust you. If there's something I should know, I'll hear it from him. Not you. Fujimura's lips thinned into something between a sneer and a smile. Right. Because he's told you so much already. Kenma didn't respond. He was just about to turn and leave when, what the fuck is going on here? Kenma's head snapped around. Kuroo stood a few steps away, tension radiating from him like heat, his eyes locked on Fujimura with a look that could cut steel. Nothing. Just chatting. Though I'm sure your boyfriend here has plenty of questions now. Boyfriend? It's nothing, let's. Kuroo's jaw clenched as he stormed forward and grabbed Fujimura by the shoulder, yanking him back slightly. Careful, I just recovered, remember? It's bad enough that I let you fuck with me once. I'm not letting you pull that shit again. Not with me. And definitely not with him. He didn't let go. Back off. While I'm still asking nicely. Fujimura's smirk finally dropped, just a flicker of something real flashing in his eyes. Why won't you forgive me? Kuroo didn't answer. My family fucking hates me. Kuroo, is that not enough? I've apologized, I've tried. Why can't you just let it go and come back to me? Kuroo took a slow, deliberate step back toward Kenma, then placed his arm around his shoulder, protective grounding. Because I don't want you anymore. I stopped wanting you the moment I realized how easily I could be replaced. Fujimura's face twitched almost imperceptibly, and I'm glad, because now, he glanced at Kenma, soft for just a moment, then turned back to Fujimura. I've got something better, Tetsu. He turned, fully guiding Kenma with him. Now if you'll excuse me. They walked away, leaving Fujimura frozen behind them. The two of them walked in silence. Kenma's bag strap dug into his shoulder, but he barely noticed it. The sky had turned deep blue, washed in violet hues, and the street lights were just flickering on. The soft sound of their footsteps echoed on the pavement side by side, close enough to brush arms. But Kenma felt miles away. He could still feel the burn of Fujimura's words. You like him, don't you? The question hadn't left him. Not because it was true, but because, maybe it was. He hadn't the slightest idea he was this obvious. And worse, he didn't know if Kuroo had heard any of it. He didn't dare look over. Kuroo, on the other hand, was unusually quiet. No teasing, no side comments, not even a dumb pun. Just walking, one hand still loosely stuffed in his hoodie pocket, the other curled at his side like he was restraining himself. They turned a corner toward Kenma's dorm, and then finally, are you gonna tell me what that was back there? Kenma stiffened. What do you mean? Kuroo gave a dry laugh, stopping in his tracks. Kenma had no choice but to stop too, turning slightly to face him. Don't do that. Don't pretend like nothing happened. Kenma glanced down at his shoes. It wasn't a big deal. It was a big enough deal for Shota to corner you. Twice. Hell, maybe even more. And it was a big enough deal that you looked like you wanted to vanish the second I showed up. Kenma didn't answer. Don't say nothing, Kenma, please. That made Kenma flinch. Not at the words, but the tone. It wasn't angry. It was tired. Honest. Like he'd been holding that sentence in all day. He said something weird. Kuroo's gaze sharpened, waiting. He asked me to help him. To get you two back together. Kuroo blinked. What? Kenma's hands tightened around the strap of his bag. He said you still want him, that you haven't moved on. There was a heavy pause. That's why he cornered you? Kenma nodded slowly. He said we seemed close, that maybe I could help change your mind. Kuro's jaw clenched. That manipulative. Kenma cut in, voice firm despite how small it sounded. I told him no, that I wouldn't help. Kuro's shoulders relaxed just slightly. Good. But then Kenma hesitated, like something else was still sitting heavy in his chest. And, he said you're hiding something from me. Kuro's eyes narrowed. What am I hiding? Kenma looked down. About your past with him. That made Kuro freeze. Then he spoke, quiet but with an edge. Why would he want you to know? And Kenma paused, just for a second, but it was enough. His lips pressed together. Something in his expression dimmed. Right. Never mind. Kuro turned toward him at that, frowning. Wait, that's not. I didn't mean it like that. Kenma offered a small tight smile. You don't owe me anything, Kuro. I get it. For a moment Kuro didn't respond. The silence stretched between them. That's not what I meant. Kenma glanced up, startled, just as Kuro reached out and gently took his hand. His fingers were warm, steady. I wasn't saying you didn't deserve to know. I was just confused why he wanted you to know. That's all. Kenma blinked. The tension in his shoulders began to ease. Oh, Kenma paused. It's okay. You don't have to tell me now. If you ever want to, I'll listen. Kuro's thumb brushed lightly across the back of Kenma's hand. His expression softened, touched with something vulnerable. You're really understanding, you know that? Not really. Kuro smiled faintly, then frowned, guilt flickering in his eyes. I hate that you got dragged into this. That I didn't see it sooner. Kenma raised an eyebrow. It's not your fault though. Still, I can't stand the thought of anyone messing with you. Not when you. He trailed off, lips pressing together. You mean a lot to me. Kenma's heart skipped. Maybe stuttered. Oh, Kuro wore on a small crooked smile. Yeah, shocking, I know. Try to contain yourself. Kenma let out a short breath of a laugh, barely, but it was real. Then, in a move that surprised even himself, he leaned forward and wrapped his arms around Kuro's middle. A small sudden hug. Whoa. Kuro looked down, stunned, arms hovering for a second before pulling Kenma in gently. You're hugging me. Don't make it weird. Too late. But he was grinning now. Grinning like someone who had just won something without knowing he was even in the running. I've never met anybody like you. Kenma blinked, his cheek still warm against Kuro's shirt. Like me? Kuro looked down at him, still holding him close. Somebody who never ceases to surprise me. That made Kenma glance up, and he didn't look away. His arms didn't drop. He just stood there, tucked against Kuro's chest, eyes steady and open. A beat passed. Then another. What? Do you have to go now? Kuro paused, eyes searching Kenma's. Slowly he shook his head. No. Can I come in? Kenma smiled. Wide, soft, and unmistakably real. He nodded and turned toward the door, pulling out his key. But before he could unlock it, Kuro reached for his hand again. Kenma turned, surprised. Their fingers intertwined without effort now, like it had been happening all along. Promise me something. What? Promise me you won't smile at anyone else like that. Kenma's heart jumped straight into his throat. He blinked, thrown off, then blushed hard and smacked Kuro lightly in the chest. Can you stop being such a cheesy flirt? He fumbled with the key and pushed open the door, muttering something incoherent under his breath as he rushed inside. Kuro, left standing in the hallway, laughed and leaned against the doorframe. I'm not kidding, promise me, Kenma. The door didn't close. Kenma's voice came from just out of sight, quieter now. Maybe. Kuro's grin deepened, like he'd just won again. Good. The morning light slipped through the dorm curtains. It was quiet, too early for anyone to be awake yet. Kenma stirred under the covers. He blinked at the ceiling, trying to make sense of why his body felt so warm, why he felt so anchored. That's when he realized there was an arm draped loosely across his waist. His breath caught. There's someone in my bed. There's someone holding me. He slowly turned his head and nearly short-circuited. Kuro laid beside him, eyes still closed, hair a mess of spikes flattened by the pillow, mouth slightly parted. His breathing was soft, calm. His face, without its usual smirk or snark, looked peaceful. Kenma's heart did not take that well. Oh, that's right. How did I forget this? He stayed the night. Because it got late. Because his place was too far. Because my roommate's gone. Because he said it was fine if he crashed here. Because, apparently, he doesn't believe in personal space. Kenma shifted slightly, attempting to extract himself from under the arm like he was defusing a bomb. Kuro let out a yawn, rubbing his eyes groggily. What time is it? His voice was low and raspy, and the arm didn't move. I think. 10ish. Kuro groaned, the sound of it sending shivers down Kenma's spine. Morning is a scam. Kuro cracked open an eye, and then froze. Oh shit. Kuro quickly pulled his arm back, sitting up slightly. Crap, I'm sorry, was I? You must have been so uncomfortable. Kenma shook his head. No, it's fine. Kuro blinked. Really? I know you're not exactly a fan of physical contact, I'm not but, Kenma hesitated. With you it's fine I suppose. Kuroo had been sleepy but suddenly felt very awake at that. Yeah? I mean we've already gotten used to being around each other. It's not a big deal anymore that's all. Kuroo smiled soft and crooked and teasing all at once. Mihim. Not a big deal. Kenma could feel his cheeks heat. He rolled over and stared at the ceiling. A beat passed. You haven't forgotten have you? Forgotten what? Kuroo grinned. We've got a thing to go to. Kenma blinked then groaned loudly. Do I have to go? Yes I already told yk we'd be there. That's a threat. Kuroo stretched his arms over his head. Come on it'll be fun. There's snacks, and music, and drama. Everything you hate. You're not selling this. Well I want you there. Selfishly. Kenma's eyes widened. The words landed heavier than they should have. Before he could say anything Kuroo cleared his throat. Plus Hinata will be there. Kenma sighed. Can't wait to hear about another petty fight between him and Kageyama. Kuroo smirked. Exactly live entertainment free of charge. Kuroo flopped dramatically onto his side to face him. Come on after all the crap you've been dealing with you deserve something stupid and fun. And you think that's yka's party? I think it'll make me feel better if you're there with me. Kuroo said grinning which caught Kenma off guard. Kenma stared at him for a moment wondering how it was always so easy for Kuroo to convince him and sighed. I take that as a yes. Kenma rolled his eyes. So should we wearing matching outfits? Kenma tossed a pillow at him. Get out. Kuroo caught it mid-air laughing. Kenma barely had time to react before a blur of orange hair launched into his side. Despite being friends with Hinata for so long Kenma could never get used to his loud energy. You actually came. I thought for sure you'd ditch. I was considering it. But you didn't look at you're out. At a party. With people. Kenma deadpanned. Regretting it already. Kuroo appeared beside them sipping from a red cup amused. I'll let you two catch up before Hinata combusts. Kuroo nodded at them before taking his leave. Damn so he brought you huh? He didn't bring me. I just came. Hinata smirked. With him though. Kenma's ears tinted red. Shoyo shut up. I'm just saying you two showed up together and that's growth. Before Kenma could respond Hinata's expression shifted. Okay but wait. What? I didn't tell you did one? Tell me what? Can you believe what Kageyama said to me earlier? Kenma sighed. What now? He said I was the dramatic one. Me. As if he didn't make me throw a volleyball at his head. You threw a volleyball at his head? He made me. I doubt that. It's true he said to Tanaka instead of me. That's a personal offer now. A pair of hands suddenly pinched Hinata's hips from behind. Complaining about me again? Kenma gulped. Every time he saw Kageyama he felt an immeasurable amount of awkwardness in the air, and it was mainly due to the fact that Kageyama is the epitome of social awkwardness. Yes about how you betrayed me and called me dramatic. You threw a volleyball at my head, and it was well deserved. Hinata's grin made Kageyama glare at him. Plus we were also talking about Kenma's new life. Huh? Kageyama raised an eyebrow. His what? With Kuroo. Kenma groaned. Shoyo, what? I'm just proud my little Kenken's all grown up now. Hinata wiped away a fake tear as Kenma rolled his eyes. Kageyama blinked. Is this one of those times I'm supposed to pretend I understand what you're saying? It's one of those times you're supposed to be supportive. There's nothing to be supportive of. Hinata winked. I wouldn't be too sure of that. What's happening? Nothing I just smell a shit. Shoyo stopped it's not like that. Shit what? How can you smell a shit what? Hinata shook his head in disbelief. Bakeyama obviously I mean I ship him and Kuroo dumped. Bokeh how the fuck am I supposed to know what you meant by shit? Sounds like a skill issue. Bokeh I swear to God. Shoyo shut up you're being too loud. Kenma looked like he wanted the earth to swallow him whole as Dumb and Dumber continued arguing. Kuroo from across the room caught Kenma's eye and gave him a casual little toast with his cup smirking. His heart couldn't take it. The fact that in the depths of his soul he liked being shipped with Kuroo, and that made him feel incredibly uncomfortable. Sue, you and Kenma don't start. Too late didn't you hear Hinata broadcasting your entire romantic arc? Are we really going to take Hinata's word now? Touché. But it's not like you've done a great job hiding it. You guys are acting like we walked in holding hands or something. You might as well have. Your arm was around him when you got here. Bakuto gasped. Kuroo how scandalous. Kuroo rolled his eyes. Shut up you stupid owl. I thought it was sweet. You too Akashi? Akashi shrugged and Kuroo narrowed his eyes. Bakuto leaned in again voice lower but still mischievous. Okay but seriously why don't you just ask him out already? Kuroo arched a brow. Why don't you worry about your own love life? I heard Akashi dodged your movie invite again. That's right he totally did. Thanks Kuroo. Always my pleasure. Kashi why do you keep dodging my movie invites? Because you're too loud in the theaters. Whoa what are you all doing there? Akashi grimaced and smacked Kuroo's arm. Get your mind out of the gutter. I just mean Bakuto talks too much. Kashi, how could you say that? I'm not about to argue about this with you right now. Akashi turned around and took a sip, a small smile making its way onto his face. But, you're not slick, you know? Kuroo glared at Tsukishima, who stared at him smugly with his arms crossed. What? Nice attempt at deflection. Real smooth. But we're circling back. Oh yeah, that's totally right. Almost made me forget about this. Note, the door's closed. No more shipping. The door creaked open again. Tenda walked in like he owned the place, hair a mess and eyes scanning like a bloodhound on a scent. Did someone say shit? Are we gossiping? Ushijima followed right behind, straight-faced as ever. Is someone getting married? No, but give it a few more parties we might get an invite. Oh, Tsuki. Kuroo narrowed his eyes at him. Tendao tilted his head, eyeing the group. Why do you all look like you've just outed someone? Bakuto grinned wickedly. We kind of did. No, nothing was done. Care to explain? Don't. It's about Kuroo. Ushijima blinked slowly. Kuroo's getting married? Kuroo grit his teeth. No one is getting married. Yet. I am confused, but I will smile and nod. That's so real. Akashi sighed. They're just talking about Kenma. Tendao's eyes widened. Kenma? He looked at Kuroo with delight. Wait, don't tell me. You and Kenma? Whoa, talk about scandalous XOXO Gossip Girl. What? Ignore him, he's been watching too much of Gossip Girl. You're just jealous cause you ain't me. Anyways, when are we getting the wedding invite? Kuroo buried his face in his hands. You people are actual menaces. Kenma, he's the quiet one, yes? Small. Looks like he'd hack into a bank for fun. Damn, I dig his vibe. Kuroo looked up. Yeah, that's him, he's over there by Hinata. Kuroo pointed at them. Oh yes, the child of concrete. The child of what? Nothing you wouldn't understand. Nor do I want to. This is amazing. Who would have thought an extrovert like you would be out there dating a gamer boy? We're not dating. Yet. It's only a matter of time. Guys, Kuroo felt a hand on his shoulder. My, what's this I hear about Kuroo's romantic arc? Kuroo groaned. I need to tell Hinata to shut up. Keeping secrets, are we? Oikawa smiled. Good thing I have the perfect idea for it. What? Oikawa turned around to face the other side of the room, his hand still on Kuroo's shoulder. Alright party people, who's in for a game of truth or dare? Tsukishima smirked, turning to a concerned Kuroo. And here comes the chaos.